Special sneak peek for today, I got these Breeze Fab 4 links. These 4 links are made by Breeze Fabrication in SoCal. This is the special for Battle Garage, the Battle Garage Signature Green. This is the only set in this color right now. And I think these should be limited to Battle Garage. So these 4 links have a couple options. There's 2 different durometer bushings, so like a street and then a hard poly bushing. You can either get both side bushed like this, half and half, or you can get full race heim joints on both ends. One thing I really like, these come with the new 4-link hardware. If you see the hardware on this car, we definitely cannot reuse some of those. Or we definitely cannot use any of this stuff. So yeah, these are adjustable on both ends. There's a nut right here welded so that it's easy to adjust. These also come with plenty of packs of the bushing grease. So yeah, these are going in a customer car, and I'll go through some of the how-to installation of these guys. So I'm taking the old ones out right now, and I already ran into some problems. You could probably see by how dirty the floor is. So this guy's obviously really rusty. That bolt would not come out, and I've had this happen before where the bolt in that sleeve seized together, and then what happens is you can't pull the bolt out because this gets stuck against the bracket for the 4-link. So ends up I have to cut off both sides of this bolt, and then you should be able to wiggle this thing out. Just a quick tip for you guys who are not so fortunate and run into this situation. I think the biggest reason you would want 4 links is to adjust the drive shaft pinion angle. So depending how long or short you adjust the upper and lower links, that'll change the angle. That'll change the angle of how the pinion sits, or the nose of the diff. And we will go over pinion angle in another video. So before you install these guys, kind of like coilovers, it's good to adjust them approximately to the length of the OEM ones, and then once you get all 4 links installed, you can adjust these guys to the length you want to achieve the right angle. So one thing special I forgot to mention about these being poly ends on both sides. So originally we got these half and half just for Battle Garage to test with, or to give like a test sample for Battle Garage. So this customer requested poly on both ends. So ended up we needed to get 4 new ends for this guy. Or the best solution at the time was to get 4 new ends for this guy. And Breeze Fab did not anticipate doing poly on both ends, but really smart. What he did is that he made a jig so these are, I think, 15 degrees one way or the other, because when these get bolted in, they actually do, the rear axle and the body mounts actually are not like this. They're more like off to one side. And so, really wise of Breeze Fab, or a smart move on Breeze Fab. These are all compensated at 15 degrees, and so that's why I have these listed like left side top, left rear, each one pointing in that 15 degrees when it gets installed. So yeah, nice attention to detail, nice touch. Alright, just sizing these up to the OEM length of the 4-link. And you can clearly see that little bit of angle if you butt these 2 guys up together. So prepping the bolts for installation, I like the bolts that the Breeze Fab kit came with. Grade 8.8. These are 17 mil. Sometimes you can tell the hardware sucks because it's metric, but then it'll be some weirdo size like a 16 or 18. Like you saw last time, I had to cut the head and then the other side of that bolt off. So I put anti-seize in the middle of these guys, so that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna torque these down good and tight and blue thread locker at the end. Cool. One shot of the upper links and you can see the 15 degrees in those guys. Cool. Got this guy installed. I was worried about if I flip this upside down or not, but these joints are specifically left and right hand threaded, so this only goes on one way, and then if you turn it like it's faces right side, Breeze Fab on if you turn this guy the other way, just like that. So if you look right now, I have this side in. This is a tight fit to squeeze in there, so I'll usually have the link down here, and I'll use my orange hammer and then push it up in there. So you can see the link doesn't line up right now, so no big deal. Yeah, we can turn this guy. Sorry, I know the lighting sucks. And you can see that's just about to line up. And so after I put this bolt hole through, I can tighten this back up, make sure that that guy and that guy are the same lengths, and then I'll move to the upper links. Breeze Fab! I'm gonna call it a night. I got an early morning customer appointment tomorrow, but one thing I wanted to note before you even install these, get anti-seize on the threaded portion before they thread inside. I've had plenty of these things from experience seize up, and then this thing's like impossible or like exceedingly tough to move. So yeah, anti-seize on these rod ends. Alright, Sunday fun day. So I was gonna get the Extendo cutoff tool today from Harbor Freight, but because of everything that's going on, Harbor Freight's closed early, so gotta make do. To give myself some more room, I dropped the shocks so that this guy sits lower, took the springs out. These things are stuck in there just like the other four links, so I am cutting off each end. See, this guy's cut off too. Got a rag here to protect the brake line and everything else. Luckily, this guy will come out, so once I take this guy out, I should be able to wiggle this guy completely out, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. But alright, ran into a problem already. So with these bottom links, I was able to take this guy completely out, but I think because this guy's pretty, like, there's so much around this guy that I can't get this completely out unless like I take the bottom link out and then move the whole axle that way. But I think that's more headache than it's worth, so what I'm going to end up doing, I'm just gonna cut that link in the middle, and yeah, these are super rusted, so those aren't even worth keeping. So I will cut that guy and cut that guy in the middle, so then I can get these links out of these holes. Good times. Alright, so my Sawzall made pretty quick work of that guy. Right here. If you're wondering why I didn't use the Sawzall on these, because these bolts are hardened steel and it just was doling out the blade and not making a dent in it. But Sawzall will work on this. If you end up running into the situation like me, I would actually support the rear axle with something just so this thing doesn't fall completely down. Alright, got this guy out, and you guys can probably tell that bolt was not going to come out of there. So yeah, I grind the bolts flush with the end of the metal, and then you should be able to wiggle this guy out. The bracket where the 4-link will go will get bent up like a little bit when you take that guy out. So if you just get your adjustable wrench and put it that way, you can bend these back into shape. They only got bent up a little bit, so no big deal. All right. Cool. One more side. Oh, and then yeah, safety first. Got my pull jack under this thing too. All right, turn the fan off just so I could film. But yeah, it smells terrible in here. So I got these two guys lengthened out to the size of the OEM top 4-link. The bottom ones, like fully tightened, were about the same size as OEM. So we'll see how this works out once I get these two installed. Cool. I sprayed some paint where there was bare metal from the cutting process. So yeah, we should be good just about in a second to get the upper 4 links installed and then get everybody bolted up.